So today I have a special request from a friend of mine who plays in a league. And he says, why don't you do a video on how to hit a fairway wood? Because nobody in my league can hit a fairway wood. So why don't you do a video on that? I said, okay, it's easy enough. I've done them before, but we could update that a little bit. So come on back and we'll get right to it. I would have to say that when I was a young golfer, just starting out, the hardest club in the bag to hit was a wood off the fairway. And that's because it's a lot less loft than an iron. And it's actually a different mindset that you don't think about when you're first starting to golf. I mean, the only time we really grab a wood if we don't have a full set of clubs is the driver. And we're thinking, sweep that driver off the tee. Sweep it. But for a fairway wood, you have to change your mindset, because what I see a lot of people doing that are having trouble with their fairway wood is they're trying to lift it off the fairway. And that's not what you got to do. You got to actually think of it as like, not exactly like an iron shot, but a shot that you're going to hit downward on and kind of compress it into the ground and hit it up. Remember, in golf, when you hit it down with a descending blow, it goes up. You know, and they say, well, it's like a driver. Well, they stand too far away from it. You know, you can hear me preach about that all through my videos. Don't stand too far away. They get up high because they want to kill it because it's a wood, and then they end up trying to lift it through the impact zone. So, if you're not hitting your fairway woods, number one, lose your 3 wood. Get rid of it. What else you got? 5 wood? Okay, I'll go with that. But also go to the shop. If you don't have one, go to a secondhand store, get a 7 wood. Or in this case, I got a heavenwood here. Actually, it's a heavenwood head with a shorter shaft. I got a longer heavenwood. I got 2 heavenwoods for my fairway clubs because at my age I need the extra loft, and that's what they give me. So if you have a 7 wood from a secondhand store, it'll give you more loft and it'll be really much more easy to hit than a 5 wood or a 3 wood. And believe me, if you hit the 7 wood, it's gonna go. So don't worry about distance. 7 wood can go pretty far. So can a hybrid, for that matter. But I think a 7 wood is your best bet to have in the bag, especially if it's a heavenwood. Because a heavenwood, why they call it a heavenwood is it's got a shaft like a 3 wood, and yet it's got the loft. This, for example, has, well, I got it set at 19. I don't know if my other one is 20 degrees, but that's how much loft you have. Your driver's anywhere from 10 to 12 if you're a senior. Whereas, look, you got 8 more degrees on this bad boy, right? So it's a lot easier to get that ball in the air, which is going to give you more distance than, say, a 3 wood or a 5 wood. Okay? So that's the first thing. Get rid of your 3 wood out the door. 7 wood, 5 wood, see if you can hit it. If you're having trouble with the 5 wood, go get a 7 wood if you don't have one, and you'll be a happy camper. And if you're still having problems, get a hybrid like for a 3 iron and use that. Or use, look at the iron that you're using to hit off for a fairway shot and get the hybrid for that too. Those are all first and foremost. And make sure also that you got the right shaft in it for you. And if it's still not working, go to a weaker shaft. So let the shaft do the work. Maybe a shaft is too strong. But anyway, let's get back to my original point. and that is hitting these shots with a descending blow. Now, you've heard me talk about the spine, or the line, the head and the spine is where your club's going to bottom out. So if you're like this, look at where I am. My spine is here, and the ball, we're this far away from the ball. Now that might be okay if you're hitting it off a tee, because you're going to try to hit up on it and lift it, right? Give that kind of flight action. Well, this is on the ground. This is, you're going to have to hit a different kind of shot. Like I said, a different mindset. It's almost like an iron shot. Not quite, because you're not doing it that far. You're not going down that hard at it, because you still want to sweep. Sweep with a descending blow. I know that sounds crazy, but that's basically what you do. So the first thing is figure out where the buttons are on your shirt, or where your spine is and where your head is, and put the ball right there. It's got to be somewhere off the inside of your left foot if you're right-handed. And that's where I play it, right there. So my hands are going right down the line. My head is right down the line, especially when the ball's sitting down a little bit. I'm not trying to put the head back and get under it. I want to hit a descending blow. So start right there. Try that. Keep the arms loose. Don't try to kill it. You got a wood. It's going to do its own work. Let the wood work for itself. There you go. Nice, smooth fairway wood. Okay? You can't move off the ball. This is a longer club, so you got to stay there. You got to stay there, and you got to hit it. Well, how do I do that, Tony? Well, start thinking about not moving your head. Start thinking about keeping everything still. Just turn and hit. Don't try to load up back here and hit, because you've moved off the ball, right? It's a little different mindset. It's a controlled shot. It's not swing from your heel shot. Usually when you're hitting a fairway wood, you're not on a par 3, because you could tee it up then. And that's a different shot altogether. This is a shot on a par 5, a second shot on a par 5, where you're trying to give yourself position for your third shot. So it's a position shot, right? But you want to get up there as far as close as the green as you can, because you want to hit a wedge in there. But it's still a controlled shot. Just control it, sweep it. And you'll be surprised how not swinging like a killer or a gorilla is going to make this shot easier. Another thing that will help you get the ball into the air a little easier is hitting a fade, because you're coming through and you're holding off the club slightly, and see, the club head is in a more open position. It's not, you're not hitting a hook shot where you're rolling the hands over. So just open up, still keep the head right where it is, right at the ball. And you hit a little, that was a push fade, but it was still a fade. I didn't roll the hands over. If you're still having trouble getting it consistently into the air, don't forget to stand comfortably close to this thing. You don't want to reach for this thing. Because standing closer is going to make it descend more. But also, what I want you to do this time is play the ball half an inch further back than you usually do. That gets the club hitting down on the ball just a little more, and usually hit the ball, you still hit the ball first, but you come in and you make better contact with this fairway wood. I think the biggest problem people have, especially with a wood, fairway wood, is to overswing and to kill it. Keep in mind that today's equipment, when you hit it on a sweet spot, it doesn't matter how much effort you got, it just goes. So you don't have to kill it. You just got to hit it on a sweet spot. That should be your objective. Hit it on a sweet spot. Let it go. I'm just going to, you know me, I don't swing that hard anyway, and I swing with timing, but I'm going to swing extra slow here to show you how little effort it takes to hit this thing. All you need to hit it decently is to come down like this and then release. So if you get in that position, you're going to hit it. You don't have to kill it. So here we go. This is super slow. Doesn't get any slower than that. And that's a good fairway wood shot, right? Doesn't take much. Let the club do the work. Let the club do the work. Let the club do the work. And you'll be hitting your fairway woods very easily. And you'll say, wow, what was the big deal? But if you're older and your swing speed is slower, use 7 woods or hybrids. Forget about a 5 wood or a 3 wood. And you'll hit them just as far as your 5 wood or 3 wood because they're easier to handle. That's just the truth of the matter.